Welcome to Channel Make your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrating to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell on the side, so once by all the updates and news, you'll be the first one getting all the insight. Alright, obviously the whole internet in regards to the topic of immigration in Australia has been talking about in the point test system that has been proposed by the Grattan Institute. Now, I must apologize that I had spelled Grattan wrong. It should be G-R-A-T-T-A-N rather than G-R-A-T-T-O-N. However, that's not the big issue. The issue is whether or not these point test system or the new point test system, when it will actually be implemented. There has been talked about maybe this year, this upcoming financial year, or perhaps next financial year. Now, my bet here is my prediction. I don't think it will go to the next financial year. Why? Because the general election will be held in May 2025. So I don't think any government would like to have, they obviously they want to win the election, so they want to have new policies to be out before the general election. Especially immigration is such a hot topic in Australia, so we can see the opposition leader Peter Dutton and also the current Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has been throwing immigration slaps on each other. Now, I don't know how and which and who you believe is right or wrong, but you can see how they are utilizing the topic of immigration as a way to win their political rights or victory, should I say. However, despite all saying that, immigration is not really something that should really be concerned. The cost of living costs, of rise of living costs and the inflation, and obviously not the housing crisis, as there are numerous reports has been showing that immigration does not directly contribute with the majority in for the rise of the cost of living and especially housing crisis. However, I don't think the politician is not getting anywhere, because they are, as you can see, this news. Now, this is coming from Bloomberg. Obviously, that's not Australian news media, but it's basically talking about how global housing shortages are crashing immigration fuel growth. So this is obviously talking about in Canada and New Mexico and all the North America places, but it's not just Australia is facing such an issue, but it's a global phenomenon, especially in the English-speaking countries, where, as we can see, the instability of the world politics, for example, in Middle East, Iran, Israel and Ukraine and Russia, and also the tension built up in Asia. That's all driving immigration going places that they getting out of their home country, should I say. However, another thing contribute to the inflation and the housing crisis should really be the trade war. Now, the trade war obviously looking towards to build their own sovereign capability on manufacturing. Now, the key question here, obviously the right-wing politicians are always talking about building their own sovereign manufacturing capability. Even that's the same in Australia. But problem is, can they really have a sovereign manufacturing capability? Even if we move into the advanced manufacturing, Industry 4.0 or artificial intelligence, that's a question mark, because we know that apart from America does still have a lot of manufacturing power, but there's one question that I have been chat about with my Aussie friends just last month. It's this. The topic is talking about this. Have we realized that there has been probably 1 or 2 generations of Australians, and that goes the same to Canadians and New Zealanders, Kiwis, actually seeing the real manufacturing factories. Have they seen any in Australia? Yes, only a few, but not many. And all these manufacturing has been being established for the past 3 decades in Asia. So how would a country for the past 3 decades or 2 decades or even 1 decade have lost their manufacturing capability to actually establish something back? That's really questionable. Anyway, let's see another news I wanted to share with you is that this came from when this is almost 2 weeks ago. Macquarie says there's a 50% chance of recession this year. Now, why is that? Because they're basically Australians pulling out. There's the very similar article talking about in Canada and all around the world, especially with those mass immigration countries. So if the country stops or they decrease the number of international students and immigrants, then the likelihood of Australia hitting recession is very, very likely. Even if not this year, probably next year. Now, that's all being talked about. As we know, international education is the fourth largest sector within the export of Australia. Now, if we are looking, obviously the plan shows that they are gonna cut it by half. Don't know how they're gonna get that done, and that would definitely hit the economy for sure. Now, does the politician of Australia, in both sides, Labor and Liberal, know about this? Well, for sure they'll know about this. From what I can see, it also goes to Canada as well, and also perhaps New Zealand and many countries in Europe. What are these politicians doing? I think the debates continue to goes on, and they are basically throwing rocks at each other, and it's a big gamble. It's a big gamble. Now, how would this go? We will really see how that will actually go when the time has come. As I say, I mean the actual recession. It's actually quite close already, because we can see that last week there's already a news came out from ABC News that they are immigrants, and she's not just the only one. Sonia is looking to depart Australia based on the high cost of living. That's another thing. In my channel, I've been talking about this, and this is not just a phenomenon in Australia, but also a phenomenon in Canada, also in United States as well. You know, how much income can you make to actually have a saving, and you can actually have your house and your dream life? It's actually quite hard, you know, thinking about putting 100,000 annual income and deduct the expenses, transportation, accommodations, and also the taxes. How much can you save? Probably not much. But elsewhere, for example, in parts of Europe and parts of Asia, you can still have very, very good life compared to what you can actually be doing in Australia and elsewhere. But I understand my channel is talking about, you know, and promoting immigration to Australia, but we still need to see the fact, and that's the base. And also it's good for the viewers to make their own judgments how and where they wanted to go. And another news here just to share with you: Australia in deep recession if we took away immigration. Now, this news report was done in March 2024, so 2 months ago. But it seems to be not many people is paying attention to this, as the migration planning, it seems to be they are cutting a lot from 500,000 down to 200 something thousand, and the opposition leader had bet further if Peter Dutton wins the election next year, he's going to cut another quarter of the permanent residence intake. Now, obviously, we know housing crisis is not really caused by the immigrants. It's caused by the lack of policies, infrastructure building, and also why don't they incentivize more developments or incentivize more builders to actually build more homes rather than stop business coming? Now they're killing the international education industry for sure, and a lot of my friends working in those international education institutes is throwing white towers around. Anyway, what is your thoughts? Now it's gonna be an exciting June, because we gotta hit the new financial year in a couple of weeks. Don't know what other policy will come, but stay tuned and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thanks, and see you next time. Goodbye.